Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to print out the enabled V3 Phoenix hand that e-NABLE created. So in today's video, I'm going to show basically how to resize it, not to an actual hand, just so you can get it, you can get your license or you can get certified for printing it. After that, you can learn how to actually size it per someone's hand. But today's video, I'll just be talking about how to resize it to like 130%, and then how to import it into your slicer, and then how you can print that out. So let's get started. Alright, first things first is we're going to need to go to our enabled devices catalog. So what you're going to go is you're going to go to hub.enable.org, which would take you to the main page. From there, you want to press the top thing at the top, which is called devices. Once you press devices, you're going to scroll down and you're going to see a couple different hands. You're going to first press the enabled Phoenix hand V3. Now, after you do that, you're going to scroll all the way down and you're going to find the link for the STL files at Thingiverse. So now what you can do is you can download all the files. And what I'll do, but for me, I'm just going to show you an example. But basically, you download all these files once you do it. So you're going to download all those files. I'm going to just download one for example. You can see it has showed up here. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to create a new 3D design. You're going to press new in Tinkercad. And I just picked Tinkercad because it's probably the easiest. Now what you want to do is you want to drag this, and if that doesn't work, it does work. So since I dragged it in now, I can scale it. So I'm going to scale it to 130% because that's what they recommend. If you scale it or if you print it out at the real size, which is 100%, it's a little too small to work with and do your tasks with. And also 130% is like the average children size. So just to get it certified, you can size that 130%. Now you're going to keep it like that. You're going to import. So what happens is you can actually see the difference. I'm going to import the exact same file but size it normally, and you're going to see the difference. So once it imports, you're going to be able to see that this one is actually much larger. You can see the difference. And you can do this for multiple of them. I can even do it for tensioner pins. Alright, so I'll do that. And I'm going to import that. And I'll just have to drag it in. Once I drag it in, change it to 130. And then once it imports, you'll be able to see it. So I don't need this real size tensioner block for now because I'm trying to show you how to work it. But now you see that they're different colors. This sometimes leads to a problem when you import it into the slicer. It might only show one of them for some reason. So what I did to overcome this is I just selected both of them, and then I just combined them by pressing this button right here. And now they become one. So once they become one, then they'll both definitely show up. And what you can do is you can export it, and we'll call this an STL file. And this is like the auto name it gave, Swink. I don't know what that is, but now we can just upload it into our. So you can see it came into our downloads. Now we can just go to our flash print. So the slicer I'm using is flash print. The reason I'm using flash print is because I have a Flash Forge. I have a Adventure 4 series. And I also have a Flash Forge, but you can just use any slicer you want. But how I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna press this one, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just make this a little smaller real quick, and then I'm going to open my flash print, and I'm going to open my download section, and I can just drag this into here, and now when I open my fully flash print, I can see I have this. So the whole entire V3 hand is completely it can print completely without any supports, so you don't need to worry about adding any supports or anything like that, although there is auto supports function, but I found that to be a little hard. Sometimes it can be a little too thick and it's hard to remove, and it overcomplicates it. You also do not need a raft for any of these, so make sure you do not use a raft. It makes it super hard to remove after. And I did try doing my first print ever with a raft, and it was a very bad idea because I spent so much time taking it off, and it looks really messy at the end. So my suggestion, when you go to this, when you go to supports, well, I didn't add any support, so it's fine. But when you go to things like raft, make sure that is no. So you're going to go to raft. And you might see that when you first open it, it's going to go basic mode. But you can just go to expert mode, and you'll be able to see all these options. Another thing you want to be careful about is infill. Infill, is you want to keep it, if it's a bigger item, you want to keep it more higher, around 60%, 70%. But if it's low, if it's a much larger object, you can keep it around 20, 30. So since this is a smaller object, I'll keep this at like 70, or no, I'll keep it at 60. It's not that small. Now, the pins you might want to do at 70. Now, the top solid layers, as you can see here, we kept it at 4. That's not something to worry about much. Now, the next thing you want to see is the platform temperature. I like to keep it around 65 or something like 60, a little bit above 60. So I'll keep it at 62. And then I like to keep this at 225. And this is for printing with PLA. Okay, so I'm printing with PLA. And you don't really need to worry about materials if you're just trying to get your if you're just trying to get licensed or get it certified. So now this is all done, we can press slice, and you can see that when we go to our slice preview, you can change it up and down and everything, and you'll be able to see everything, and it looks pretty fine. Now the next thing you just have to do is you have to just go here, automatic scan, connect your printer, or you can import it as a USB and you can just print it. So I'll see you with the 3D printer. Alright, so I think I put a picture in right before this about how the final thing looks like. So I hope you guys got a better understanding of that. I have some of the things right here. You can see here, I printed out the mold. I did print supports on this one, which I don't suggest printing supports, like it's really bad. I couldn't take this off. Anyways, this is not going to be on the actual thing. It's just the mold, so the top part is all that matters. So I'm not going to reprint this one. But the rest of them I didn't print with any supports, so those all turned nice. Some of them I did black, some of them I did white. It's not really like in a certain order. It's because I ran out of like a certain white PLA, so I just switched to black PLA. So it'll look kind of weird at the end, but it's okay. So this is already on. I mean, this turned out pretty well. This one I had some. Oh, sorry. This one I had some difficulties with, or not difficulties. I just, I was a little more worried about this one because this one looked pretty hard without supports and stuff like that. But it turned out pretty well. Just, you just have to print it right, and have the infill right. And if you just follow the settings that I mentioned earlier, it'll work out. My fingers went out. Well, I haven't installed them. I just put them in, but we'll be able to install them later. I also have this one. I also have some pins here. So in general, everything turned out pretty well. So since I have everything printed out, I'm gonna make a new video about how to assemble everything, and that's gonna be it's gonna be a longer video. So make sure to stay tuned in to check that video out. And if you have any more questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And if not, then please remember to subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.